Today's lesson is graphing ax plus by equals c, graphing by solving for y. So this is another method of solving these equations which are in standard form. The ax plus by equals c. So they're written in that form where it's not easy to graph using the slope and y-intercept. But what we're going to do is actually solve this equation for y and put it into y equals mx plus b form. So the goal is to change this equation into one that's easy to graph. So first move, basically we want to solve for y. So I'm going to get y all by itself. So the first thing I get rid of is the 3x. And I get rid of 3x by doing the opposite, which is subtracting 3x from both sides. We always do the opposite. So it's positive 3x, we subtract 3x. Those cancel. On this side I'm left with 4y equals, now I have 8 minus 3x. I can't subtract those because they're not like terms. So I'm just going to write them down. And to keep it in this y equals mx plus b order, so it's easy to graph, I'm going to write the x first. So negative 3x. The 8 is positive, so I'm going to write plus 8. Now all I have to do is get rid of the 4. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4, but here's a trick. I have to divide everything by 4. Not just the negative 3, but the 8 as well. So those 4's cancel. Negative 3/4 I'll just leave because that's a slope. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now this equation is in y equals mx plus b form, which makes it easy to graph. Because now I just start at the y-intercept, 2. And then I use the slope, which tells me down 3 over 4. Down 3 over 4. And now I can connect them, and that's my line. So for this technique, we are solving the equation for y. We move the x first, and when we write it down, we write the x term first so it stays in the good order for us. And then when I divide by 4, I have to remember to divide everything by 4. A common mistake is only dividing the slope and leaving the 8. You don't want to do that. Everything gets divided by 4. Flip your paper over to the second example. Again, we're going to solve this equation for y. So I'm going to get rid of the 5x first. And since it's positive 5x, I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Now, the 4 has a negative sign with it, so I need to keep that together. And remember, on this side, we want to write the x term first. So it's negative 5x. The 12 is positive, so I just write plus 12. Now I divide everything by negative 4. And I mean everything by negative 4. So those cancel, so I get y equals. Now, negative divided by a negative makes it positive, of course. And here, a positive divided by a negative makes it negative. So now this equation's in a format that's easy to graph, because I graph the negative 3 first as the y-intercept, and then up 5 over 4. There's my line. Crucial point here is that a negative divided by a negative makes the slope positive. For the last example, again, I'm going to solve this for y, so I got to get rid of negative 2x. Since it's negative, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. That cancels, leaving me with 3y equals, remember on this side, write the x first, so 2x plus 6. Then I'm going to divide everything by 3, and remember it's everything. That cancels, I get y equals 2/3 x, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now I graph 2 first on the y-axis, and then using the slope 2 over 3, I go up 2 over 3. There's my line. So this is the second method for graphing equations in standard form. Solving for y, and then graphing it in y equals mx plus b form.